All right, looks like we're live. What's going on, Card Nation? This is John with Cardinal Craze. Want to do kind of a quick segment today. This is going to be Code Orange, okay? We're going to be reviewing the Syracuse game versus Louisville tomorrow at noontime. So let's kind of dive right into it. All right, so today, we unfortunately heard the news that Hassan Hall will be leaving, and he officially made that statement about 2 hours ago on his Twitter page. We heard it yesterday. This is an unfortunate situation, but let's dive into what we are going to expect from the Syracuse game. Okay, so Syracuse. All right, this is going to be a home game. This is a huge game. All right, the fact Lamar Jackson's coming back, they're retiring his number. We're going to have a number of recruits. It's not going to be as many as we had last weekend against Clemson, but it is going to be a smaller list of recruits who will be in attendance. Now, one of the things that I'm excited about is that this game is going to be huge, and not just for the fact that we're playing at home. We have a lot better odds compared to last week. No, the fact that we are retiring Lamar Jackson's number 8 jersey is just phenomenal, and it's rightly so. But I also have a couple little opinions just based on the fact that we need to retire a couple more jerseys, a few more people who deserve it. I'm not going to say who because you all know who I'm talking about. But you know what? Lamar Jackson, it's a big honor. This is amazing. I'm excited for him. I hope we get that statue. Okay, so Code Orange. All right, Syracuse is going to be playing on the road. Syracuse has not had a bad season. They've gotten close. All right, I mean statistically, they have lost by 6 points or less. Okay, 7 points or less. And honestly, it's really been close. I mean, look, the Ohio game at the beginning of the year, which is Ohio University. I think they're called the Wildcats up there. I mean, 29-9. Yeah, that was a horrible road game. I mean, then they get, oh no, I'm sorry, that was a win. Okay, I was looking at that wrong. Okay, so reverse that. Okay, so 29-9. That was a good one. Then they lose to Rutgers, and that was 17-7. That was bad. And let's see, they played Liberty, and they actually almost lost to Liberty, but Liberty's a good team. Don't get me wrong. They won against Liberty, Albany, and then they lost to Florida State by 3 points. Wake Forest by let's see, it was 3 points again, and then there's Clemson. They lost Clemson by 3 points again. And then they actually beat Virginia Tech. That is most surprising. And they beat them by 5 points. Okay. Now you kind of, actually 6 points. I'm sorry. And then you kind of go over and they whoop Boston College 21-6. All right. I think that's their biggest lead compared to the Ohio game that they won against. And, honestly, kind of looking back at this, they haven't really had a bad season. They've came close. And I think that's a little concerning being a Louisville fan is the fact that, we're kind of in the same position. Okay. You go over to our record. We lost to Ole Miss. I don't even want to talk about that game. All right. We beat EKU. 30-3. That was just a cupcake game. Almost lost to UCF. And that was a scary game. We did dominate Florida State within the first 3 quarters. By the fourth quarter, they came right back. They almost beat us. We beat them. We lost Wake Forest by 3 points. We lost to Virginia by 1 point. Don't mean to laugh. I'm just kind of going back over these games, kind of reminding myself of how our season's been so close to the wire for a lot of these games, and some of them we came close to losing. All right, Boston College was a good win. Losing to NC State, that was hard. That was hard. The guys, they played hard, they played fast. It just did not work out in their favor. And then almost beating Clemson, almost sealing that win, breaking that streak. All right, now Clemson has a 7-win streak against us, and now we look to Syracuse tomorrow, 12 p.m. Louisville is in a situation where it's almost reminiscent of what happened when Lamar Jackson left. Okay. But we're in that before stage. We're in that everything is great because Malik Cunningham is dynamic. He can run the ball. He can make explosive plays out of nothing. And, for the most part, honestly, I am just ecstatic about how this game is going to go tomorrow. I think we have a great chance of winning. This is going to be a home game. Lamar Jackson's going to be there. A lot of other people are going to be there. It's going to be a very fixated game. And I'm just extremely excited about that. We will cover Duke next week. Well, I don't even know if we Duke is a very interesting team. But for the most part, let's kind of talk about the situation, okay? Syracuse is playing on the road. We have a 63% prediction that we are going to win based on ESPN's rankings and predictions. Let's kind of look at all of this for a second, okay? Louisville is in a position where we could go 5-5. All right. That puts us 1 point. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, 1 win away from being bowl eligible. Okay. And this is a critical moment because if we do not win here and we lose at home, we lose by retiring Lamar Jackson's jersey. And here's the thing, Syracuse is going to come in. All right. They're going to come in with force. They're going to come in with, this is a revenge game, okay? You're about to retire the jersey of the man who humiliated you all those years ago on national TV and gained extreme notoriety from that, won the Heisman because of his legendary leap against you. I think that they're going to come in here with a ferociousness that we have not seen since last weekend. That's me personally, but let's kind of dive into it. Okay, so Syracuse, statistically, they have not been really doing the best with passing game. They are doing basically bare minimum average. Their quarterback, Garnett Schrader, all right, number 16 is Syracuse quarterback. He's a sophomore right now. He's only thrown for 1,100 yards. He's had 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's not the best. It's also not the worst. So let's kind of get into it just a little bit. Their running game has been immense. All right. And I believe, yes, Sean Tucker, he has accumulated over 1,200 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns, averaging 6.3 yards per carry, and having 21 attempts. Now, one of the things that I can say about this is the fact that, Louisville's in a similar situation. They've become a run-heavy offense. And I think one of the things that we have to realize, so I steal the bone from my dog. Anyway, so one of the things I think we have to realize is the fact that our rush defense is good. Okay. Syracuse does not have a bad defense. Now, that's not to say that we're not going to overwhelm them. I think this game could go 50-50. I don't think there's a 63% chance that we're going to win this. I think it's a fair 50-50 because here's the thing. We can come in this, and if we dominate the first 3 quarters and give it up in the 4th quarter and just let them trample us, then that's on us. Okay? Not necessarily us, but, But for the most part, let's just kind of talk about this a little. All right, Syracuse, their best receiver only has 297 yards total throughout the entire season. All right, compare that with Louisville, and you're looking at, 400. Jordan Watkins, 416 yards. Okay, we have a dynamic. Look at our rushing. Our rushing is Malik Cunningham at the top with 690 yards. Right behind him, Jalen Mitchell with 531, and then follow Travion Cooley with 299. Okay, Malik Cunningham has essentially dominated this aspect because, look, having a dynamic quarterback like Malik Cunningham, it's almost reminiscent of Lamar Jackson. Okay, we go over to Syracuse, kind of look at them. Sean Tucker, he's run for 1,200 yards, and then the Garnett Schrader, he's run for 670 yards and had 13 rushing touchdowns. Okay. This is why I say this is going to be a 50-50 game. Okay. They have a dynamic quarterback who is focused more on his rushing game and than anything. And the Louisville defense should be used to this. This should be a uh, not so surprising game. I mean, they practice against Malik. They know how dynamic he is. You're literally copying and pasting. I'm not saying that they're equal in any way, but they're very similar to one another in their skill set. Now, let's kind of just take a step back and look at passing. Passing wise, Garnett Schrader, butchering that name, he's not bad and he's not the worst. Okay. I think, honestly, this could be a real surprise game for me. It could be a real trap game. We could go in here with a heavy run focused mindset and they start passing like crazy. They start putting up big numbers and then we try to chew the clock. Problem is they will probably try to chew the clock as well. All right. And this is going to turn into a situation which is basically Louisville versus Louisville. If that makes sense, it's going to be almost like a practice game because it's literally we're just flipping the table. All right. Is Garnett going to take the ball and run it up the middle? Is he going to go along the side? Is he just that dynamic? I think he's dynamic, but I don't think he's as dynamic as Malik. Malik has had time. He has had, honestly, playing right behind Lamar Jackson, watching how dynamic he moves. He's no Lamar Jackson, but honestly, I'm happy with what he's been able to do. So prediction wise, this is something I have struggled with. And the only reason I say I've struggled with this concept is the fact that predicting this game, Louisville really hasn't put up big numbers. Okay. If we look at every game, it's been consistent within 30 points. Okay. We have consistently beat every team outside of UCF with averaging 30 points. All right. Now that's 4 games we've won and we've come close to essentially, winning other games close within that point margin range. I don't see us exceeding this whatsoever with Syracuse. I think we're going to hit it with 30. And you know what? I'm going to give a prediction right now. All right. I think this is going to be a very close call of a game. This is going to be a field goal of a game situation. So let's say 30 to, all right, give me Louisville 30 and give me Syracuse 28. I think it's going to come that close to the wire. It's going to be an extra point touchdown. It's going to be something to that matter. We may even get a safety at one point. It's going to come down that close because I think that's how similar these teams are. I might be wrong. Tomorrow they may just essentially walk in there and beat them out 7-40. Okay. But just looking at both these teams, it's hard to, not to say these teams are not similar. They are very similar when it comes to their stats, when it comes to how they play. When it comes to the defense, it's kind of in a similar boat. Okay. CJ Avery has 63 total tackles. You go over to Syracuse and M Jones, he's got 78. Yeah. So he's got more. Their defensive back Chestnut, which actually I believe he was originally Darian Chestnut freshman. Yeah, actually, Louisville was recruiting him at one point, and for some reason they just decided not to, chase after him. He's a freshman with total of 2 interceptions. Goodness, he's put up some big numbers. Okay, solo tackles 28, assists 10. Average. This look, not getting Darian Chestnut, because I remember when they were recruiting him, this was an unfortunate loss for Louisville. Okay, not getting him in the recruiting area. But you know what? That's fine. But the problem is that Clark is out. He's gone for the season. Our defensive back is now going to be comprised of young men who are still trying to learn. Don't get me wrong. We got Cole, we got Duncan. We even got Greedy and we got Walker. But here's the thing. We have, there's probably a couple others I've missed. Jones and handful of others I'm probably overlooking. Here's the thing. Tomorrow's game is going to be very close. I am predicting And again, this is a prediction. It does. I am not. I don't got a crystal ball in front of me. I'm not going to tell you, hey, go spend all your money in the betting room over there and definitely put it down to the wire. Okay, I am predicting just like everyone else, but I'm analyzing the statistics and I'm trying to see what I'm not seeing. What am I not seeing? Okay, and really, I can't find anything that isn't really too damaging outside of our defensive backs having to really step up. I mean, this game, they're really going to have to step up just because we've lost so much to injury. Now, with our running back situation, we're down one man. I don't think running back situation is going to really matter. Don't get me wrong. I like Tassan Hall, but at the same time, we got so much depth. It's not like, we're, a 3-man deep squad. I mean, obviously Mitchell and Cooley are going to go into the rotation, but Malik Cunningham, he is going to be in and out. Okay, he's going to be running the ball. He's going to be doing dynamic plays. And I think this is something that Syracuse is planning on. They are planning on a dynamic quarterback, and they already have a dynamic quarterback. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. This has been a quick segment from me, John with Cardinal Craze. If you guys kept to the end, honestly, hats off to you. Only a handful of you guys really actually do kind of keep to the end. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who do, but to those few who stick around and listen to my little anecdotes, my hat's off to you. All right. Well, be sure to give me your predictions if you already haven't. I'm gonna do a giveaway next season. And don't get me wrong, it's a year away, but at the same time, I think next season I want to start doing some of these actual giveaways. All right. Like the person who can accurately predict the game, I will do a humongous giveaway. I will buy you lunch. We will sit down, have a great conversation. Heck, I'll send you some type of memorabilia that I can find. All right. But anyways, Card Nation, for the most part, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great rest of your night.